that will just flood into the country for the free health care. And
yeah,
it's crazy. Those guys are nuts, I'll tell you.
Who, terrorists or the unemployed?
You get the terrorists, the outside terrorists, and then you get the ones that are on the radio, like Levin and Kennedy. They're all nuts. They're all just insane.
Well, there's money to be made. The top. Right, but there's money to be made in fear.
Oh, I know.
But just ask Homeland Security.
Oh yeah, you and the TSA. I know. Have you heard this new Ohio thing they're all up in arms about?
What's that?
The Ohio voting law.
What's that?
Apparently, Ohio had a law where you could vote up to 6 days early. Some people could vote depending on which precinct they were in. And then they went back and forth. I guess the Democrats and Republicans fighting about it. And so they made an exception that military could do it for like absentee ballots, or I guess active duty military could do it. But then the rest of the people could only vote 3 days early. But then they want to repeal that, so they go back to the old system. And they're saying they're taking away the ability to vote for the military vote, and it's like, I don't know. They're all pointing fingers at each other, and the whole thing is ridiculous. Because I know I did 20 years in the Navy. And voting was not a problem, 3 days or 6 days, because if you weren't around, you do a absentee ballot, you mail it in. You can do it months in advance, or you can do it later, which makes me always wonder what's the point of even voting if you vote after the election's over,
right?
And they've already announced the winner. And if you're if you're overseas, 3 days, 6 days is not going to help you because you have to do a mail-in ballot, right? It doesn't make a difference. If you're in the States, you're really not that busy. I don't care what branch you're in. You're not that busy that you can't vote one day.
No, I think there should be less voting. I think
I think you should have to vote on the same day. It all should be the same time.
Yeah, I think you should make an effort, man.
And there should be no polling. There should be no polling allowed. I think till it's all over with, boom. And they need to get rid of the whole because don't you think by the polling that let's say Obama's at or either way, however you want, Romney's at 65% or Obama's 65%. Clearly going to win. All those people that are going to vote for either him or, whoever it is, either way, they're going to say, there's no point in voting now. It's already decided.
If you fall for that, good.
Well,
don't vote.
I think a lot of people think that.
I see what you're saying. But
I'm not saying everybody's going to think that way, but it will dissuade some people from voting because they're going to think there's no point in voting. And then, on the other hand, there really is no point in voting because it all goes to the Electoral College anyway, and they can vote however they want because they're not all required to vote by the popular vote.
Right. Like Lou Rockwell says, he says the system's inherently corrupt.
Oh, it's crazy.
And your vote doesn't matter, and to actually vote is your endorsement of the current system. Yeah.
You know, we need to wipe out the Electoral College. It doesn't make any sense anymore. It did in the old days when it would take weeks or months to count all the votes, but we can count it instantly now. There's no need. There should be a popular vote. That's just my take on it. I don't know.
Interesting. I don't know. Yeah.
And with as much interstate commerce as we have and people traveling back and forth.
Jeez, interstate commerce. Jeez.
No, I'm serious. With the internet and everything, states really don't mean that much anymore. Meaning that California shouldn't have more voting right or voting power than, say, Montana.
Oh, right. Well, you know that Mitt Romney is not going to spend any time in California this year. He's not going to spend any time in any state that he's not going to win or any state that he's going to win. Obama and Romney are going to spend time in Florida and in Ohio, Pennsylvania potentially, and there's a few other states.
Yeah.
That most states are already decided. There's no way. If you live in California, your vote's wasted.
Your vote's wasted?
Your vote doesn't mean anything.
The Electoral College is already decided.
It's already decided, yeah.
Okay.
It's already decided, yeah. So,
do you mean that the population has already decided one way?
Well, yeah, it's going to be
or the Electoral College has decided one way, and it doesn't matter what the population's going to say.
No, it's Democrat. It's gonna be a what is it? Blue? Red? Is that what the
Yeah, that sounds good.
Democrats are blue?
I don't remember. But well, I mean, they voted Schwarzenegger in. He was Republican.
Dude, he's about as Republican as my cat is Republican. I mean, he's not a Republican. I mean, do you ever follow anything?
No,
he's a phony.
Well,
he's a phony.
That could be.
He's what's called a rhino.
All right,
right?
what about Ronald Reagan? You can't get much more Republican than him.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not one of these people who revere Ronald Reagan as just some sort of holy man. Holy.
I'm not either, but I think he was one of the very staunch Republicans, and obviously a popular governor of California.
Yeah, former Democrat.
He was a Democrat when he was governor?
Not when he was governor, but
No.
prior to that.
Well, he's an actor, of course.
Most of his life, he was a
it's because he's an
Democrat.
actor. Yeah, that's part, you have to. I think it's part of the
Screen
SAG.
Actor Guild.
Yeah, it's part of the SAG. You gotta,
The SAG. Yeah, but
Requirement.
the political parties are, they're phony. I mean, I think it's the best thing going right now. What we got, but
it's the only thing
we
going.
could do better. We could do better.
I think we should. I mean, this is probably never going to happen in my lifetime, but I think we should just do away with the parties. And you should vote person, not a party. That whole party thing is just it's just a crock. It's just a crock. Because if you got one person that believes the same thing and all these other people believe, without even thinking about it, there's got to be something wrong there. If you don't have different views on different things based on individual items, not just towing the party line the whole time.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in total agreement with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's probably why I kind of like the Ron Pauls and who was the other guy I liked? The rich guy.
Rich guy?
Yeah, Ross
The
Perot.
guy from Texas, Ross Perot.
Ross Perot. I love Ross Perot. Because they're different. They're their own thing. And
See,
I guess Ron Paul is Republican, but he doesn't seem to be like everybody else.
Right. The Republican Party, the mainstream Republican Party hates him. So.
And that's the other thing I hate hearing about.
What?
If I hear that word one more time, that phrase, mainstream media.
Oh.
You know who says it all the time? It's the mainstream media. I hate to tell you this, Fox News, but you are mainstream media.
Yeah.
You're one of the big networks now, yeah. Unless you're the Lenny and John show, you are mainstream media.
Yeah, with our unseen reports from Interstate 95 reporting on turnover trucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's all...
Dude, it's all phony, man.
It's all like brainwashing. They get all the people on there to listen to these shows, and I hear them call in, and they just repeat what if somebody calls in that disagrees with a host,
yeah,
they just belittle them, insult them, make fun of them, and then hang up on them. If they call in and repeat what the host just said, oh, great call, thanks for calling, great job, I agree with you. Wow. It's like, what are you talking? You're just saying what you said.
Well,
it was a great call.
Well, the funny thing about when I was making fun of sports talk radio, it's the same as...
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's instead of a team, it's a party.
Party, yeah. It's the same.
It's just crazy.
We're doomed.
We're doomed, honey.
Yeah, so I was talking today somebody, and we are discussing... there's that clip with... what's his name? Daniels, the guy from Dumb and Dumber, but he's got that new show. Yeah. Jeff Daniels, yeah. He seems smarter in this show.
than on Dumb and Dumber.
The newsroom, right? And he gives that, have you seen that clip where he talks about American exceptionalism?
No, I haven't seen anything about this show.
Oh yeah, you should find it. People have been, it's kind of a meme.
Well, I will check it out.
Yeah.
I've been seeing, go ahead.
Oh, they say, what makes America, the best,
Mm-hmm.
And his response is America's not the best, and he goes on and on and tells it what we're best at.
I'm sure that'll go over well on Fox.
Well, no, it's actually his point is kind of the opposite, even though he's saying it negatively. He's pointing out that we need to change things. We need
to get back to being the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But because
Even
I think his character is a right wing guy. But here's the deal. Okay, American
right.
exceptionalism. So we have a couple things. Number one is our Constitution is much better. It allows for freedom and gun ownership and lots of other great stuff that we used to actually believe in, and that has carried
Slavery.
us. It doesn't have slavery in there, believe it or not.
The Constitution?
Yeah.
It does.
Where's it? What are you talking about?
It talks about slaves
Oh,
didn't work two-thirds. And
you know, funny thing. I talked about that. Yeah, I mean that's a northerner thing too. That's not a southerner. But anyways,
that was a joint effort.
but it was yeah. The northerners didn't want the southerners having more votes.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways,
But the whole thing,
yeah,
I mean,
okay.
think about it. They always talk about the Constitution being one of the greatest documents ever written, and we're very proud of it. And I guess we should be proud of it that we can change it. But the fact that our country was born on a document that describes individual people as less than a person
True.
is, like, that's. I don't want to sound un-American, but that's just crazy.
Well, you have to be able to criticize. Yeah, I mean,
I know.
dude, that's you got to be able to criticize it. You got to be able to.
I mean, but just say it's perfect. It's not. And that's why the only good thing about it is that it can be. I mean, that's not the only good thing, but the best thing about it is that it can be changed.
Yeah, and it does work. I mean, obviously that part there in the beginning. I mean, you would have never been able to get the ball rolling.
Well,
ever.
the reason initially at the the Constitutional Convention when they were writing this, and this is from my history lessons, is that they kept slavery in there and didn't outlaw it, didn't remove it, because they were afraid the southern states wouldn't ratify it. And
right.
They figured they could get it changed later, but obviously that didn't go well.
Yeah, it took a
while.
a lot longer.
Time, yeah.
But yeah, but but like we're saying, it is a strong written document by.
It is, but you know what? People they want to hold on, and maybe much like they did with the slavery and everything else, like the Second Amendment. We got the Second Amendment. We got the right to bear arms and everything. But maybe that was great 300 years ago, 200 years ago. But everybody doesn't need to be carrying guns all the time now.
Oh, you're wrong there. You're 100% wrong there.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be allowed to carry a gun, but I'm just saying these laws that maybe restrict it more maybe aren't too far out there.
But dude, the whole point of the Second Amendment is not anything other than to maintain the rest of your freedoms. You have to have the Second Amendment or get rid of all the rest of your...
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't have the Second Amendment, but I'm saying every time they try to come up with the new gun laws to maybe control guns a little bit better, that's, the NRA comes out, the Second Amendment, and...
There's plenty of gun laws already, dude.
Well, they need to... You're right, there are. They need to enforce... It's out of control. It's hard to enforce, and it's just there's no real good way of doing it.
You know what? The only way to ensure that you don't get shot, well, maybe not to ensure it, but at least you gotta
shoot the
fight
other guy
chance.
first.
You should have a gun too. Somebody starts throwing lead your way, you return fire. That's boom.
Do you want everybody shooting each other all the time?
Hell yeah.
I know. You probably do. Do you have a gun?
Yeah.
No, goodness. I don't know if that's a good idea.
What are you talking about, man?
Well, I mean, you personally, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Oh, that's a great idea. I mean, I don't carry it around with me everywhere I go. I mean, and I'm not a concealed carry kind of person, but
that's one thing they were saying about the movie theater in Colorado, that if more people were carrying guns, that wouldn't have happened.
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, but how many of those people, if they were carrying guns, get in an argument and feel compelled to pull it out and shoot somebody?
Dude,
how many more shootings would happen?
None.
Oh,
Dude,
you don't know that. You don't know that.
Dude, people have concealed carry everywhere, all the time, right now.
Yeah.
They're not shooting each other in the streets.
Really?
Let's see. You got Chicago and D.C.
Okay, I was going to say that, and with that, the 7 people that were killed in Wisconsin, they said there was more people killed in Chicago that day.
Yes. And you know what? You know what they have? They have the strictest gun laws in the United States in Chicago and D.C.
Yeah, I think Chicago doesn't even allow handguns, does it?
No. Now, what does that tell you? That means that only the bad guys are going to have it. And I mean, that's literally the truth.